Hey everybody, sorry I am running a little late. I had to run a couple of errands, which took me a little bit longer than I thought. But hi, Kim, you are first on the list. I had to run some errands. They're really important ones. I needed to get some kitty food so my little furry daughter wouldn't go hungry. And I will be with you in a second. Alrighty. So I oh my god, my hair is a mess. So I'm a little bit the seat of my pants as usual. You okay, cat? Oh, okay, wait. I need to. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I'm not even normally I start the video and I am like just setting up and I'm not even starting. I haven't even started to get set up yet. I'm so sorry. Mm. Okay. La, la. So this is kind of a behind the scenes getting ready. So come on in, everyone, if you are new here. I am Patrick, your friendly and slightly flustered shaman. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your patience. This is not a professional production. Okay. Here we go. Almost there. All right, I think we almost have it. I think we're almost there. All righty. Woo, we did it. Okay, I'm still not totally set up, but um, hello everybody. Welcome to another Monday mini medicine card readings. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. Welcome to my neighborhood. All right. So, for those just coming in, I was running a little bit late. Um, Hi, Sabari. Um, I had I had to run a couple of errands. I thought I had time, and I didn't. So, but it was for a good cause. I got to feed my little Kit Kat. Busy eating her delicious dinner right now. I call it her Hossen pepper because it's rabbit. She has a kitty version of IBD, and the good people at Mud Bay told me that rabbit would be a good food. Sabari, I am from Renton, Washington. I'm just getting set up. Okay. I'm gonna grab my drum. So in a second here, we're gonna start all over. This has all been a test run. This has all been the kind of behind the scenes. Hi, Milo King. Um, welcome. Welcome to another Monday mini medicine card readings. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some medicine card readings. And so the way this works, if you are new here, um, the first 5 people to say yes in the comments get a 1 card medicine card reading. And if you don't happen to be one of the first 5, you're still in luck. All you need to do is choose a number between 1 and 5 and then listen to that card. And I promise, even though it may be pointed at someone else, whatever message you need to hear will be there, interwoven. So, and then the reason I do 5 cards is because if you were to come to me one on one for a reading, geez, my hair's a mess. The normal reading I do is a 5 card spread called the medicine wheel spread, which is basically the 4 directions and center. And so once we do the 5 individual cards, I'm going to take those 5 cards and I'm going to do a full reading, 5 card reading for the community at large. So kind of to see how our own personal medicine, our own personal paths kind of interweave with those of our community. So I'm going to lift this a little bit so you can't see my messy floor. But it's a beautiful day out, so I thought normally I have a tapestry up there. But I thought, let's let the sun shine in, make it with a grin. Open up the heart and let the sun shine in. Okay, I think I am ready here. So thank you for joining me. Welcome. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share my video and all of that good stuff. That helps me out. That helps other people find me. Um, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drum and I'm going to set sacred space. I'm going to take what would normally be a run of the mill YouTube video. Hi, Jane. Um, I'm going to take like what would be a normally run of the mill YouTube video and I'm going to escalate it up to ceremony by setting sacred space. So here we go. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Oh, all right. Okay, now I feel better. Um, so Again, if you are new here, the way this works is the first 5 people to say who say yes in the comments get a 1 card medicine card reading. And if you're not familiar with this deck, each card has a different totem animal, and each totem animal has a different energy, a different medicine, which is why they're called the medicine cards. It's not that they're medical intuitive type things, but Jay Holiday, you are on the list. So we got 3 people, three places left. So what else? Is there anything else I need to say before we start? You know you're a shaman when you have to reach over and pick up your seal tail off of the floor. All right. Um, Here we go. So card number 1 is for Kim. Oh, where'd they- ah, a little bit of chai. Oh, hello, Anna. All right. So card number 1, Kim. I don't know if anyone else is, but I've been so tired lately. I'm not sure what's going on astrologically, but there is something going on. All right. All right. I'm going to pull my phone a little bit closer. So card number 1 for Kim is Ant in reverse. So Ant is about patience, which a lot of times is the last thing people want to hear as an answer. Like, God, give me patience and give it to me now. Um, but it's what it really is, it's not just patience as if it's some discipline, like the universe is trying to teach you a lesson and you have to learn, um, you know, to not, you know, be it's not a punishment. Patience is not a punishment. It's not, a virtue that has to be drilled into you um because of etiquette or because you need to be nice or anything like that. Patience is basically the idea of being present in every moment, right? Like if you're going from point A to point B, unless you have transporter technology, you have to fill every single space between A and B, right? Um, so rather than it being like, yeah, put on the brakes and just, you know, suck it up. It's like breathe. You are exactly in the right place at the right time. There is nothing more you need to do right now. Where you are standing right now is necessary. It's a necessary step It's a necessary place between A and B. You can't get to point B without covering this particular space. And so it's not a just relax, right? Calm down. It's take a breath. You're okay. You're exactly where you need to be. Um, and yes, there may be in this moment, there may be confusion or anxiety or fear or worry or whatever, um, anticipation, but those things all exist right here, right now, right? You, the present, as Seth always said, the present is your point of power. So right now, in this moment, you have everything you need to arrive at the next moment and every moment after that. And the things that you're feeling right now, the things that you are going through right now, um, and again, this isn't a punishment. This isn't a like, oh, this is for your own good. It's the wisdom you are at the moment, you are in the process of harvesting wisdom. It may not feel like it right now, but when you get to point B and you have that perspective of looking back from point B to this point in between A and B, you're going to be like, holy crap, look what I've learned between there and here. I needed that. I needed that experience to see how much better I actually am than I thought I was. Does that make sense? Um, and it's is to realize that having goals is a good thing, right? Having intentions are a good thing. Having that point B to aim at is a good thing. But it's also important to remember that that point B is not the end all be all. Everything is okay. Everything is fixed kind of thing. It's like if everything is gonna if so okay. If you're waiting to get to point B because you know at point B everything is going to be all right and you can breathe easier, etc. Well, every point between A and B, you can do the same thing. It's like I'm going to get to point B where everything is okay. If everything is okay in that moment, everything is okay in this moment. Does that make sense? Um, and it's also so in this drawing, right, this little ant, individual ant has this little piece of leaf in his mandibles. That is all this ant is responsible for. He can lift 10 times his body weight, right? But all he's responsible for is this little piece of leaf. It's not even a complete leaf, it's just a part of a leaf, right? And so take the world off of your shoulders. It's not all up to you, okay? Um, Your only responsibility is your own well-being because there are we back? Whew, I was afraid I lost everybody. Someone tried to call me and it froze my phone up. So, um, so, and this is spoken from experience because I find myself, I don't know if you guys can hear that, that's my My voicemail just roared. My ringtone from my voicemail is Godzilla. Um, you have probably lived your life feeling like there was something wrong with you, that everyone else knew things you didn't, like that feeling of no one gave me the memo. How do these people know how to do these things? How do they know how these things work? And so you've spent your life trying to fit things together, trying to catch up. You always felt like you were behind. Um, and you were made to feel weak because there are all these things that other people could handle that would make you fall apart at the seams, right? The thing is, it's not that you are weaker or less worthy or less able than anyone else. You're actually more. You're actually stronger than most people, but because you weren't taught the truth of who you are and your responsibility, you had so much more responsibility foisted upon you because you can carry 10 times your own weight. And so you were carrying everyone else's crap on your back, trying to take care of everyone else, trying to make sure that everyone else was happy, right? And forgetting to put yourself into that equation. As long as you can make everyone else happy, as long as you could fit the pieces together, you could breathe, right? The thing is that um, it's kind of a neurodivergent thing, an introvert thing, but your brain, like someone asks you something and it's like, and you feel stupid because you feel like you're slower than others. The fact is, your brain works faster than others. And you are taking in so much more information than anyone else that those little uh uh moments are because you're overloading your system because you're trying to figure out all of the other things in play, including everyone else's emotional state, everyone else's emotional well-being, trying to figure out where you belong, right? Trying to orient yourself. And of course you get overwhelmed. Of course you seem oversensitive because I don't know if you've ever seen there's these diagrams of an extrovert brain versus an introvert brain. And it shows the path of information in an extrovert brain is basically in, out. An introvert's brain, the information goes in and in and in and in. It spirals all around before it could start to come out, coming out, coming out, coming out, coming out. And so it's not that you are slower, you are stupider, you are less capable as anyone else. You're actually more so. And you have been weighing yourself down with the weight of the world, thinking that it was your responsibility to make the whole thing work, right? So take the world off of your shoulders, right? You are stronger and you are meant to help, right? But if you're already weighed down beyond your capability, then when someone truly needs your help, you don't have any open arms to help with, right? And so, for your own well being and the well being of everyone else, give yourself a break. Be in this moment. In this moment, you are whole, you are complete, you are safe, you are divine. You are already a high frequency being, right? You're perfect just the way you are. Nothing needs to be added in this moment. You are complete in this moment. And it's that realization of self validation rather than having to seek that validation in other people, because in other people, you will always find something lacking. Their opinion of you, you will never find complete validation, right? And so again, you're seeking validation, seeking to make sure I'm in the right place at the right time, that I'm doing things right. There is no right or wrong. There is no judgment. Whatever you're doing is perfect. Wherever you are is perfect. Whatever you are going through is perfect. So take a breath. Here, take a deep breath with me right now. This is a technique my guides taught me not too long ago. When you breathe in, picture picture the earth, this beautiful green nurturing earth energy rising up through your root chakra up into your heart. So it's like breathing in is earth up, and then when you breathe out, picture this beautiful golden, silver, blue sky energy coming down through your crown into your heart. So when you breathe out, when you exhale, think to yourself, sky down. So earth up, sky down. Earth up, sky down. How do you feel? I don't know if you've ever been in drama classes or in plays or anything like that, but what that meditation reminds me of is when you're on stage and they say, pretend there's a hook in the ceiling and there's this string from that hook coming down to the top of your head. Walk as if you're being suspended, as if you're being held up by that string, right? Um, when you do that meditation, it's like you are held, literally held. You are like this bead on a string between heaven and earth, which is exactly where you're meant to be. And you're meant to transmute that energy from earth and from sky and emit it into the world as love. Oh, I'm so glad that was helpful. Like the ant, keep going. Just keep going. Keep going. Because ant, by taking care of just his little responsibility, right? There are millions of other ants carrying little slivers of leaf. And by each of those tiny ants carrying just what they're responsible for, the entire ant hill gets fed. You don't have to feed the entire ant hill, right? And the thing is, I'm being kind of loquacious again tonight. I guess it might be a long night. Um, I use the example of when I did my first vision quest. Um, White buffalo calf woman came to me, and what she told me was your path is meant to be shared, which is partially why I do these videos, right? But when I first heard that, and that was almost 20 years ago, I'm like, crap, she wants me to write a book. Right? And I'm like, what the heck would I say? What I and then I realized, no, instead of a book, I'm going to start a blog. And so back then I started a blog. And over the years, I've kind of sloughed off on it a little bit, and then I pick it back up, and then I slough off again. And I actually just started again. I've been posting pretty regularly to my blog. And so over the course of those 15, 20 odd years, I have volumes worth of information that, and I'm in the process of doing this too, is, by day, posting a little something about my path, about my experiences, about what I was learning day by day, I have volumes worth of information to share. And all I really need to do is cut and paste, is just collect them into however many volumes they turn out to be. That's ant medicine, step by step. And all of a sudden, you look back one day, it's like, holy crap, I have a book. Holy crap, there's an ant hill. Where did that come from? Right? Each ant carrying a tiny little pebble, putting it down, going getting another tiny little pebble. All of a sudden, boom, there's an ant hill. So, in other words, stay present. Don't get caught in the way it's supposed to be at the end, or all you're in between point A and point B. Let's say like point A7, right? That's the only point you are responsible for right now. You don't even have to think about what is in the next moment. That moment is complete of itself and is a necessary step to get to point B. You can't get to point B without filling that space first, right? So be where you are, be present, and know that you are okay, that you are safe, that you are whole, that you are taken care of. That one thing about Ant is about when Ant comes up, you can trust that there's a bigger plan in place than what you can see. And so trust the bigger plan. Trust the bigger context that you have no clue. You don't even know how to perceive it. Just know that, okay, my heart tells me to do this one thing, right? And then a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you look back at that point and say, oh, this is why I did that. This is why I was guided to do that one random thing. Because if I hadn't done that one random thing, this whole bigger thing never would have taken place, right? So trust that you are guided, trust your heart, trust where you are. You can get there from here, no matter where here is, because there is no other there, right? Everything is this moment. There is no other time. Just keep breathing, keep breathing. Okay. All right. So, Jay Holiday, you are card number two. We got space for two more people. If there's anyone else out there, I can't even see how many people are watching. Might be just a three-card night. I know it's like really nice out there. So maybe people are out enjoying the sunshine and the nature. And I know if I wasn't here, I'd be down at the river doing my pipe ceremony. You are so welcome, Kim. So very welcome. All right, card number two for Jay Holiday. Okay. I'm going to have another sip of chai. Mm. Ah, mm. Have I ever mentioned how much I love chai? All right. Card number 2 for J Holiday got Jaguar in reverse. Um, Jaguar is about integrity, all right? Not and that's not to say and because I don't feel this. This isn't to say that you are not in your integrity, that you're totally screwing up or not being honest or not showing up or anything like that. The integrity that Jaguar talks about is it's about wholeness. It's about like the integrity of a ship's hull, right? If there's holes in the hull of the ship, water is going to start getting in and the sink will eventually sink. Um, and so the integrity we're talking about here is um how do I put this? Um okay, God, this is like apparently it's homework night. I'm giving homework between that last meditation. And so what I'm getting, right? So there's a saying about how a ship doesn't sink because of what's around it. A ship sinks because of what gets into it, right? And um, there's a couple of different ways that you can approach this. So you want to be whole. You want to see to your own well-being, see to your wholeness, right? Um, and the way most people do that is out of fear, right? And you start to um, um, the jiggity. Hello, I'm doing. If you want a card, I can pull a card for you. We're on. There would be one more person in front of you, but then I can address that. I can address your question, um, and I could talk for hours on that question. So, if you would like a card, just all you need to do is say yes in the comments, and I will put you on my list, and we'll pull a card, and I will talk all about that. Okay. Um, so, for instance, um, before we before we did this, right at the beginning of this video, I set sacred space. I called in the spirits and the elements to hold space around us, right? Um, and a lot of people think that we do that to protect ourselves because there's all these evil spirits out there that want to eat our souls, right? And so we have to protect ourselves. And so when in spiritual practice, intention is everything. And if that's where you're coming from when you're setting sacred space, you're actually creating those things on the other side that want to come in because you're creating a false separation, right? And anything that you separate is it wants to be whole, and so it's gonna come back. It's gonna try to come back. But when I set sacred space, like at the beginning, um, the intention is to create an energetic container where alchemical things can take place, like cooking a meal. When you have a pot and you put your ingredients into the pot, you cover it, you put it on the heat, you create an artificial container where things can take place that can't take place on the kitchen counter, right? And so it's about living from the inside out rather than the outside in. Oh, you just had spinal surgery. Serious issues with your spine, you're out of work, losing your electricity because you're broke. Your life is in shambles. Okay. This is one of those places where, um, as a reader, as a shaman, I have to step into a place that's not the most comfortable for me. Um, and um, please know that everything I say is not just platitudes. It's not just look on the sunny side of life kind of thing. But like I said with the last card about being taken care of, um, you are the center of your reality. Um, and it doesn't matter what the world around you looks like, including your physical self. Um, but you are whole. The before you brought in the specifics, what my guides were telling me to do was to help you. What I would like you to do. This is your homework if you choose to accept it. Every day, at least if you can do this twice a day, the better, but at least once a day. If you can, I don't know if you meditate or anything, but just if you could sit for 5 minutes and and just breathe and kind of like what I was doing with Kim with that earth up, sky down. And you're going to be like, what good is that going to do me to heal my spine? And the thing is, everything in the outside world, everything we experience in the world is the result of the unseen world. And the only real way to change and to heal and to fix things in the outside world is to align ourselves inwardly, to realize that you are a spirit having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience. That your default setting in your core, who you truly are, is spirit. And when you can align to that, I'm gonna give you more of a hint than that. Just be spirit. Um, but it's in that alignment. Um, that alignment is how we raise our frequency. And when we raise our frequency, right? And when it comes to frequencies, like attracts like, it's the law of attraction, basically. And when you're living from your heart, when you're living in a sense of trust, no matter what the world looks like, no matter what it seems to be going on, nothing can take away your wholeness. Nothing can take away your spirit. You are an eternal being. Okay. And it's not through willpower you're going to fix it. It's not through fighting it that you're going to fix it. It's through surrendering to that light within you, that light that is connected to source energy, to the energy that created the universe, whatever name you have for it, whatever way you picture it, to know that you are connected to that source energy. And like Dr. Wayne Dyer said, like, I am a realist. I expect miracles, right? Um, and so for just if you can do it just for 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes, if you can do it twice a day, I recommend like first thing in the morning, for last thing in the evening before you go to bed. But just if you can sit as quietly as you can And if that earth up, sky down thing helps just to calm you, to center you, and picture your heart. Let's do it right now, okay? Where this is kind of, I've only got a few people, so we got a little extra time. So just close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and let it go. One more time, take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, let it go. And now, as your breath returns to its normal rhythm, whenever you breathe in, whenever you inhale, okay, picture your heart as though it were a shining star. Picture your heart as a star. And whenever you inhale, it's like blowing on those flames. It's like you're like a bellows, like bringing air to that flame. And so it's like you breathe in, you watch that star get bigger, and when you exhale, you blow that energy out into the world. And then you inhale and it gets bigger, and then you exhale that into the world. And you keep doing that. And it's like you watch this light within you get bigger until it's enveloping you. And then until it is filling the room that you're in, and then filling the entire building you're in. And you keep letting it go out further and further. And it's like you're building your world from the inside out. And even though it seems, oh, that's just my imagination, that's just thought, it's not real. Um, oh, hey, Charles. Um, that feeling of completeness, of wholeness, of light within you is more real than anything that you will experience in the outside world. And it's from that place, without, it's like in the Tao Te Ching, it talks about without doing anything, nothing is left undone, because it's that alignment with spirit, with yourself, with creator, with your higher self, whatever framework you want to put that in. It's by being in alignment that the synchronicities start to happen. The right people show up at the right time with the right medicines or the right practices or the right information. Um, you know, and as a variation on that meditation, as you're breathing in and as you're breathing out, not just sending that energy out into the world, but sending that energy down into every part of your body. Your body listens to, your body is alive. Every cell of your body is a living being, and it listens to you. And as you stoke that fire within you and you send it into every cell in your body, and picturing your spine lighting up, right? Like a firework, like your spine shoop up into your brain. It sounds frivolous. It sounds, oh, that's nice. That's a nice image. But what is it going to do? It will actually do more than anything you do physically. Because once you align, that it's like once you take the spirit in and work from the inside out, everything becomes inspired, inspirited action. Then your intuition kicks in, and because you're living from the heart, living from spirit, you will know the right things to do, or the right information to seek, or the right people to ask. And um and no matter what it looks like, what it feels like, the appearance of it in the outside world, you are always whole. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. And I say that with the full belief and knowledge that anything can be healed. There are, fill up your time with reading about miracle healings. There are so many people who have had these miraculous overnight healings, right? And not to put an expectation in that, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be great, whatever, but to keep, just like you feed your body the right things to help your body heal, feed your mind and your spirit the right things to make your spirit and your mind heal. Focus on the things that help you feel strong, that help you feel connected, right? Um, and it's more about having the strength to surrender to what is rather than trying to force your will upon it. Does that all make sense? Um, and there are things you can watch, like I haven't actually watched a lot of his videos, but I know I've known some people who have gone to see Joe Dispenza, and I don't know a lot about him, but I know people who have gone to him and watched him and have like been able to go off all of their meds because the body knows how to heal. Everything is divine. Everything is just one energy, right? You are part of the same divine energy that everything is made up of. And your body has all of the maps, all of the blueprints, all of the wisdom it needs to heal itself. Another thing, like another little hint that I use when I'm doing healing for other people. Um, okay, how do I put this? Like I was doing with your heart as a star. And instead of pushing that energy down, if you picture every cell in your body, like your heart is lighting up like a star. Every cell connected to that starts to light up, to be lit. It's like watch your body light up from that original light, every cell, and watch it just spread throughout your body until you can picture every cell in your body lighting up like a star. That's one of the things that I do when I'm working on healing somebody else. Or if there was a time when you were healthy, like if you were like in your 20s or something and you were vibrant and everything was fine, you can take that number 20 and you can picture that number in every cell of your body. Start with one cell, start with your heart. See like 20 and then watch that 20 spreading out, rippling out into every cell until every cell in your body has a 21 in it, with that intention that I want to be like I was when I was 20. So that's a couple of the things. So I hope that is helpful. And I will keep you in my prayers. Okay. I'm besides this, I'm also a sacred pipe carrier, and I do sacred pipe ceremony, the peace pipe, almost every day. And I have a little book that I keep people's intentions in, and I will put you in that book so that every day when I do my prayer ceremonies, I will send you prayers and hold you in that space as well. Okay? So best of luck. I will hold you in the vision of wholeness, of light and perfection. Okay? So, all right. Card number 3 for Anna. It looks like we might just do 3 cards tonight. Oh, you're welcome, Jay Holiday. Should I just call you Jay? I never know how to address these different names in the YouTube. Mm. Mm. Splendid chai season. Let me be there in your morning. Let me be there in your night. Take whatever is wrong and make it right. Make it right. Let me take you to that wonderland that only two can share. All I ask you is let me be there. I was listening to Tanya Tucker before this. So that's actually Olivia Newton-John's song, but Tanya did a version. That's the song I was listening to right before I started. So you are so welcome, Jay Holiday. Let me know how it like if you can come back on like next week or whatever. Keep me updated. I will keep you in my prayers. All right, Anna. Hi, Kira. Okay. This is my kitty cat, Kira. Say hi, Kira. She's why I was a little late getting started tonight because I had to go get some food for her. The cupboard was dry, was bare. All right. Card number 3 for Anna. Oh, thank you. Kira thanks you, Charles. She is beautiful, isn't she? It's one of the most beautiful cats I know of. Excuse me. All right. So you saw me shuffling. You heard the cards shuffling. You heard me singing while I was shuffling the cards. Card number 3 for Anna is Jaguar reversed. So, so I hope you were paying attention to the last time. Just kidding. Give me a second. When the same card comes up, there was one night when like the same card came up like 3 different times. And we got three. It's like every time the card comes up, it's a different reading. It's not just a ditto. Um, give me a second to tune in, make sure that I wanna kind of clear the palette so that I can get a clear feeling for what your message is from Jaguar. All right. So, Anna, for you, Jaguar in reverse is asking you to be more fierce. It's about sovereignty. It's about not making excuses for yourself or for other people. It's about not asking permission, not um it's like they say like in a relationship for a relationship to be healthy, you've got two different people and they have to meet halfway, right? Don't give someone instead of going 50%, don't give someone 75% and then wonder why you're not feeling fulfilled in the relationship. Does that make sense? So instead of so while like one of the things that I have learned on my path is to take people on face value. If they don't say something out loud, there's no way for me to know it. which sounds like something funny for someone who is, you know, makes a living doing psychic kind of things, right? But honestly, you can never know what is best for somebody else. You can never know truly what someone else is thinking, and it's not your job to figure it out. If someone else is not meeting you halfway, if someone else is not giving you, you don't, okay. Hi, Missy. Hi. Come on. Um, it's like go go, the 50%, the halfway, and if they're not there to meet you, keep going. Not toward them, but just keep moving on your path. Take everyone else out of the equation. Jaguar is apex predator, right? She's the America's version of the Lion King, right? So, um, it's the circle of life, and you are the apex predator. You are at the top of that circle, right? That doesn't mean you're more powerful. It doesn't mean that you're worth more. It doesn't mean that you're more special than anyone else on that circle. But it means by taking care of your own self, by following like all the stuff I was just saying about that alignment and listening to your heart, listening to spirit, by taking care of yourself and seeing your own needs met, you are automatically taking care of everyone else in that circle. You don't have to keep checking in with them. You don't have to keep questioning what they're thinking. That is actually a form of manipulation when people sometimes, not all the time, but like sometimes when people don't volunteer what they're thinking or don't keep you up to date with, and they force you to keep coming at them and asking questions and digging. That's actually a form of putting you off center because you're having to dig it out of them, and so they're able to pull you in. It's like they're taking power. They're taking power away from you by making you come to them, right? Um, and so if someone is not fulfilling that part, if someone doesn't say, "Oh, you're doing that and it makes me feel this way," or something, don't go digging in to think, "Well, I wonder if this is how they're feeling. Maybe I should do this instead, just in case it's making them feel this way." And it's like that's just running in circles. That's um like when I graduated from Sandra Ingerman's shamanic training, Isis is her main spirit guide, and Isis came through and gave each of us an individual message. And what she told me was, "Your confusion is a distraction." Jaguar doesn't start chasing, one antelope or one deer and think, "Oh, wait, that one looks better. Maybe I should go for that one." And goes after the other one. "Oh, wait, look at that one." Right? That's there. It's like hunter, target locked, boom, target taken down. Um, keep your own insights, keep your own counsel, keep focused on your well-being, your fulfillment, your dreams and your passions. And if someone is trying to tear you down or say, "Oh, you're not being fair to me by following your dreams," or whatever, it's like screw them. They're not meant to be there. And if what you're doing is fulfilling yourself and someone else doesn't like it, that's a lesson that they need to learn. And you're actually helping them by being your best, strongest, most authentic self. Um, it's kind of like that. There's that saying about how truth is like a lion. It doesn't need to be defended, right? You call a lion a sheep. The lion doesn't care. Lion's still a lion, and the lion will eat you, right? No matter what you say, a lion is a lion, and you don't have to defend the lion. You don't have to convince others that it's a lion. And it's the same with the truth of who you are. You don't need to continue to defend yourself, to explain yourself, to ask permission. You are the apex predator in your life. You are the sovereign being in your life. And just like Jaguar, when she's hunting, her heart is her authority. And when she sees a deer, she looks, her heart looks for the deer that are slower than the others, that are weaker than the others, that is sick, that is elderly, that is slowing down the rest of the deer or endangering them with disease. And those are the deer that she hunts. So, in seeing to her own well being, not saying, "Hey, excuse me, dear, do you mind if I kill one of you? You mind if I eat one of you? I'm hungry. I need to sustain myself." She's just like, boom, because it's the natural order. Her heart is her authority, right? Um, and by doing so, she makes the deer herd faster, healthier, um, and also, as they've shown in Yellowstone when they reintroduced the wolf, right? Not only did the herds become healthier and smaller, they also, um, how do I put this? Before there were predators in the park, they just kind of overran and overgrazed everywhere. The trees were suffering, the plains, the prairies were suffering, the rivers were suffering because they would just cross the rivers wherever they wanted to. And so the banks of the rivers were deteriorating, which was causing trouble with the fish population, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when they introduced the wolves, the deer started only grazing in certain areas and only eating certain trees, certain plants, certain things. And so that's your job as that predator. You are the king of the jungle. You are the queen of the jungle. And not in a power over like you will obey me. It's like, okay, it reminds me of Artemis. Artemis is my matron goddess, and she is, on one hand, the goddess of childbirth. She helps bring beings into the world, and it's also her silver arrow that decides who stays in the world, who lives, who dies. Not from a power over and self gratification or anything like that, but in alignment with the natural order of the well being of the entire thing, right? Because this planet, we're like I was talking about the cells in the body, right? We are all cells in the body of the earth. There's a bigger being here than what we're aware of. And by taking care of our own well being, we are benefiting the entire body of the planet. And by focusing on our own sovereignty, our own authority, following our heart for what feels best for us, we are automatically doing what is best for everyone else. It's not always perceived that way, granted. And people might hate you and rail against you and all kinds of things. But if you are coming from your heart, you seriously can do no damage. You can do no harm because your heart is what connects you to all living things, all living beings. So if your heart is telling you to do something, Your heart has already taken everybody else into account and has already done the calculations as to what is the best thing for the whole. So when you're listening to your heart, you're listening to the whole. And your heart is what connects you to Creator. It's the voice of God. And so when you listen to the heart, Creator, God, Goddess, whatever you call it, already knows what's the best thing for everybody, right? Because we're all connected. It's a non-zero sum. When one of us does better, all of us does better. So don't compromise. There's no compromising. Okay, well, I'm really the ruler, but if you want to do this thing, I can compromise my boundaries and I'll give up this dream so that you feel better. It's like screw that. No. Right? Like Marianne Williamson, that quote is like my favorite quote in the world and it's really long, so I won't try to remember all of it. But it's basically one part of it is like there is nothing enlightened about playing small for the comfort of others. If other people are are comfortable with your lack of boundaries or your lack of enthusiasm or your lack of um, integrity, right? That's Jaguar is about integrity. Then you owe it to them to make them uncomfortable. And not by sitting and pushing all their buttons and focusing on their discomfort, but by shining your own glory, right? That is how we heal the world, person by person, by claiming our own sovereignty, our own integrity, without compromising who we are, because the second we compromise, we lose our integrity and we let something else, some other energy in that isn't supportive of us. It's not that it's evil or it's counterproductive necessarily, but it's like it's just it doesn't belong there. Like in doing shamanic healing and such, one of the things that I do in the course of whatever else I'm doing is extraction, which is pulling out energy. It's not necessarily possession, where it's an actual soul or being that is stuck in someone else's energy field, but like in the way that they talk about, looking daggers at someone, right? Or you stab me in the back, right? That's real. When you do that, you're actually when you look daggers at someone, you are sending this energy at them. It's not it's not sentient energy, it's not conscious being, but it's energy and the intention is harm and you're putting that into someone else's energy field. Um, and it's not necessarily like okay, so that one is harmful, but like other thing like energies, if you're walking around with holes in your energy field, right? Nature abhors a vacuum. Things are going to come in. And it's not necessarily counter to you or like that, like someone looking daggers at you, but it's energy that is not, um, it doesn't originate with you. It's not natural. It's not who you are. So it's just that that energy doesn't belong there. And its presence there mucks up the rest of your energy system, right? And so we do extraction to pull energy out that doesn't belong, and we reinstill the energy of that person. And so, kind of like I was talking to Jay Holiday, it's like do those exercises, like be whole, like picture your heart as a star and have it fill your entire body, the entire room, until you are glowing. Your body is glowing. There is no space for anything other than you to be taking up that space, right? Like a friend of mine a long time ago told me this, and it's just stuck with me. It's like, own your space. Wherever you are meant to be there. Never be apologetic for where you are because you are meant to be. there. You couldn't be there if you weren't meant to be there. If there weren't some benefit, if there weren't some lesson, right? It's not always comfortable. It's not always, sunshine and lollipops, but wherever you are, there you are. Show up in wholeness, show up consciously. So you might say, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is uncomfortable. It feels like I don't belong here, but obviously I'm here. So, what is the lesson? What, be the divine presence in the room. If nothing else, just be the divine presence. Observe, radiate that divineness, radiate that love, because sometimes that's all we're meant to be doing is to be the presence of love in a situation. Don't even have to say anything, right? Like I saw a post on Facebook. This woman was praising her husband because they were like on the bus or something, and they were standing at the rails or whatever, and further down in the bus there was a guy kind of harassing this woman, and this woman's husband just he didn't say anything. He didn't chew that guy out. He didn't try to protect the woman. He just went and stood in between them. No words, no resistance. He just stood there. The presence of love, the divine presence. And it short circuited that exchange between those two, diverted that predatory energy somewhere else, and kept that other person safe. So, your presence is everything. And trust yourself. I'm trying to hone in on there's a little message coming in. I'm trying to hone in on it. Um, Trust your own authority. Trust your own authority. If you feel something, say it. That's integrity. Holding back so you don't hurt someone's feelings or whatever is not integrity, right? And blasting someone because you feel crappy is also not integrity. But if you feel something, say it, right? Um, that's presence. That's being present. And never think that you are less than someone else, that you have less authority than someone else in any given experience. Because there is no one who is more powerful than you. There is no one that is more worthy than you. You are the center of your reality. You can't, going back to where we started this, you can't know what is in the mind of anyone around you. So the only thing you have to go on is your own heart and your own thoughts. You can make up conversations and all kinds of different things in your head about what that person's thinking and how you should react to what you think that person is thinking, because they might be thinking this and so you better think that, and you can't get traction. There's no integrity in that. Show up, be present, say what you feel. If there's an opening, if there's no opening, you can go yell into a pillow or remove yourself from the situation. You don't need permission to be your greatest possible self, okay? And the world needs your presence. The world needs that integrity. The world needs that unique, authentic frequency that is you. The universe depends on it. The universe would not exist without you. Think about that for a second. If you weren't here, it would compromise the integrity of the universe because there would be a hole in the universe where that frequency should be because all the different frequencies support all the other frequencies. You can't have the rainbow without all the colors, right? If there's a color missing, there's no rainbow. It's- So value yourself. That's the message. Value yourself. Value not over everyone, but know that, like, one thing I learned in my failed marriage, um, if I don't say anything, there's no way to fix things. If I say something and it gets a reaction, we have a starting point for speaking about it, for talking about it, for tweaking it, for amending it. But if you don't say anything, there's no starting point. There's just walls. At least when you try, when you speak up, when you express yourself, even if at some point you back it off and say, "Oh, I guess I was wrong," you have a starting point, and that is the beginning of healing. Okay? Now I got Madonna in my head. Express yourself. Um, be true to yourself. You are important. You are beautiful. You are necessary. You are loved. You are upheld. You are supported. You are worthy. Act like it. Be that presence. Be the queen of your jungle, right? Okay. I hope that's helpful. Sometimes I feel like I don't I hope I never come across as waving my finger because that is never my intention. That is never the energy that I'm coming from. Um, but I hope that is helpful. I truly, truly hope that was helpful. All right. So we've only had 3 cards, but we are at the cutoff point. So we're just going with 3 cards tonight. I'll do a 3 card reading instead of the normal 5 card reading. And while I am searching for the cards, remind you that if you haven't already, to please subscribe to my channel. Check it out. There's a lot of free resources, tons of these readings, tons of ceremony. There's little stories and songs and different videos along the way that you might find helpful. Um, that is up there for you. If you ever need to be in sacred space, you can look up one of my pipe ceremonies. If you ever need guidance, you can just choose randomly one of my Monday mini medicine card reading videos, choose a number and watch that card. I promise that even if you're watching like 10 years from now, there will be guidance in there for where you are. That's just the way the universe works. That's just the way spirit works. Um, and if you enjoy my work and these readings and you would like to work with me, you would like a one card, like not a one card reading. If you would like a personal one-on-one reading with me, we can arrange that, or a healing. You can check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can learn more about me. You can see the various shamanic services that I offer, readings and healings and teachings. Oh my! And you can set something up right from there. You can sign up for a slot right from my website. And I do shamanic healing, soul retrievals, fairy doctoring, extraction, like I mentioned, etc., etc. And I'm going to have some classes coming up in the not too distant future. Um, but I also do one-on-one mentoring for people. So if you've been looking for a spiritual teacher, a shaman teacher, um, and you prefer the one-on-one energy rather than a whole group energy, then we can definitely do that. I would be so honored to be your teacher and to help you find your unique path and your own unique relationship with your guides and the universe. So check out my website again. That is perchingwolfstudios.net. Um, and if you would like to support your friendly neighborhood shaman in a different way, I also have my PayPal and Venmo links down in the description. This is my living, this is my day job. So anything that comes in is met with such gratitude. I don't even have words for it. Um, and it helps to keep food in Kira's belly and keep a roof over her head. And it helps me to be able to focus on my own spiritual path so that I have more experiences and wisdom to bring to the table when we do readings, when we do interact, and when I doing teaching or whatever. So it's kind of support, it's a mutual reciprocal support. So for that, I thank you for your generosity, and I think that's all the announcements. So um, I'm just going to okay. So we only have two cards today. I was going to do three because Jaguar came up twice, but then I'm like, let's just simplify. So we have two cards today. Um, and when there's two, I always think of the yin yang, right? Um, if I were doing the five card reading I normally do, there would be three more cards like that. But because those are the only two we're working with, we're going to pretend those other three are there. But this is the East card, and this is the West card in that context. And my phone is mirrored, so I don't know if that came out correctly on like you're going to be like, wait a minute, that's not. Wait, it's vice versa. Um, so if this is the East, no, this is the East. God, that way is do it from the person's perspective. Okay, now I'm getting. Oof. You know what? Okay, East, West. So I was just realizing if this were this reading, this would have been the first card I set down. This would have been here, and then this would have been here. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. So this is the East. So the East is air. So that's like the mental realm. That's like the masculine side. This is the West, which is water. So that is the emotional realm. It's kind of the feminine side. If this were the yin yang, right, it would be the light and the dark, manifestation and potentiality, etc., etc., etc. And so As a reading for the community, on the masculine side, on the mental side, we have ant in reverse, and as a community, it's like okay, I'll go to that afterwards, but so this is the masculine side, the mental side, um, and in reverse with ant, what the message to me is we need to stop pushing, stop forcing. Um, it's like not trusting the natural order, trying to impose our own will and make things happen in a certain way, in a way that is acceptable, that is, you know, explainable and logical. This is trying to overlay the natural world with logic. Um, right? Ants, if nothing else, they are order, right? Order out of chaos. They are. You can look at them material, militaristically, right? Everyone has their place, everyone has their own job, and everything works. And you can see that as from a place of control and from a place of making things happen, of carving out order out of the chaos. Or you can realize that the ants are a matrilineal society, that the workers who manifest and make things happen are the male, and that there's a queen in the heart of the anthill that is the feminine, who is the heart of that that society, and that it's not like each ant is a number, right? It's like the military, like you're worthless unless you're serving, blah blah blah. It's more like it's like the hologram. Every portion of the image in a hologram contains the entire hologram, not just a portion of the picture. If there's a certain group of ants that for some reason, like is no longer there, they die or whatever, other ants will suddenly develop whatever the physical needs, and the know-how to fill that spot. Within every ant lies every role within ant society, including the queen. If the queen dies, another ant will literally change sex and become the queen. The entire ant hill is contained with every individual ant. Every ant contains the whole picture. And so in reverse, it's overriding that rather than allowing the natural order of the anthill where everyone just does what they are called to do. We're trying to force things in, square pegs into round holes kind of thing. And you will do this whether you like it or not because we need someone to fulfill this role, right? Whatever. It's all about control. It's all about fear. It's all about um, everything and everyone else is more important than you. And so in reverse, it's not that, so it's kind of like what the way I see this is, um, this is what's being called for right now. Ant is in reverse because we need to tone down. We're too overpowered overpowering. We need to tone that down. That's why that one's in reverse. Jaguar in the water, in the west, which is water, so the emotional, the more feminine element. It's like the jaguar, the feminine needs to come out more. It's in reverse because there's not enough of the feminine energy. This is in reverse because there's too much masculine energy. This is in reverse because there's not enough feminine energy. And the feminine is about integrity. What I was just talking about, the ants, each ant has sovereignty and integrity. Every ant does what it does because it's called to do so. It's from the inside out. It's not forced labor. And so this is about that feminine rising, not just the how do I put it? Cozy, soft, inviting feminine, but the fierce mother, um, protector, fierce integrity, fierce compassion, holding boundaries, um, defending rights, defending boundaries, right? Not, we have this image from so many eons of the patriarchy that the feminine is soft, the feminine is passive, right? The feminine is just there to make us feel better. This is about the feminine coming forward to reinstill in each of us that fierce passion and love and that integrity of each individual, whether they're male or female, seeing to the whole being, because every one of us is on a spectrum of maleness to femaleness, somewhere in between all of it or a sliver of it or somewhere in between, and everyone is perfect. It's about bringing out that sovereignty of the individual and the inclusion of all. It's about, just like the anthill, um, you know, counter to some people's thoughts, the matriarchy is not just a switching places of men and women to put the women in control and do to the men what the men have been doing to women all these eons. The matriarchy is about inclusion. It's about counsel. It's about inclusion and group, real democracy, right? Rather than you will do this, like I was talking about. It's like when these come upright, and these wouldn't be here in reverse. It's not, oh my God, we're doomed, we're doing it wrong. These are here as a sign of this is what's in the wings. It's not on the surface yet, but it's coming. It's in reverse because it's present. If it wasn't present, these wouldn't show up. And so in the future, when we end up flipping those cards, everyone, hello, Kit Kat, move along, nothing to see. These are not the droids you are looking for. Move along. So when we end up flipping these, again, east, mental, masculine, west, water, feminine. We have the healthy, masculine, not doing the bidding of a power greater than us, but listening to that power within us to do and to create and to manifest, to bring into physical manifestation, the physical, logistical things to orchestrate order, to orchestrate a world of equals, a world where everything, like I said earlier, like the Tao Te Ching says, by doing nothing, nothing is left undone. When you work from the inside out, what you do is not doing what your work is not work. You are when you follow your heart, you are following spirit. Spirit carries you. It's joyful. It's fulfilling. That is the healthy masculine building from a place of joy, building the society from the place of equality, building from the inspiration coming from within us, right? And the feminine, it's like not this passive, well, you can do whatever you want because we're all love here. So whatever you do is okay, even if it crosses my boundaries. No, this is the fierce, um, again, order out of chaos, right? Um, it's the predator that brings order to the wilderness. It's the predator who is kind of the manager, the maintenance of a healthy environment. This is about making sure all of the cogs work together. This is seeing to that balance and the equality. Um, Not equality. What's the other? All of a sudden, I can't think of the other word. Equality, yes, like we are all equal, but it's like seeing to the needs of every person individually, what that individual's needs are. Equanimity, because it's that seeing not just the top of the pyramid like patriarchal society, but seeing from the top of the circle where every being along that circle is just as important as every other being along that circle. And if any of those beings are not well, are missing, are sick, or whatever, it infects that entire circle. And so this is seeing to the well being of the whole by seeing to the well being of every individual. This is where our society is headed, a balance of masculine and feminine. It's not the females having power over enforcing. It's about um, reinforcing what's already there, what's already natural, of seeing the connections that are already there and honoring those connections and celebrating those connections, emphasizing those connections rather than trying to build new ones or deny ones that are already there. This is about working with the Tao, working with the flow of life, the way we are meant to be. So that is what I see for our community. Back up just a little bit. There we go. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that made sense. Um, I am I am like the eternal optimist. One of my favorite affirmations that I've talked about before is only good can come of this. That no matter what it is, there is a way to metabolize it, to use that as the springboard to something greater. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily a fan of injustice or chaos or, hate or anything else, but I can see the bigger picture where better things can come from it. It's kind of like um, I don't remember what the thing was. There was some situation, it was a long time ago, before the pandemic even, and there was something that happened, and a friend of mine said, The question isn't what do we do to fix this or how do we get justice or blah blah blah. It's how do we move how do we move in love from this point forward? How do we move in love from this point forward? No matter what it was that happened. It's like, okay, this is where we are. Set your bearings at love and let's go. Right. So, oofta. All right. I hope that was helpful. That is our night. Actually, stopping a little bit earlier than normal. Yay. um, I always feel bad when I go overtime. So ending early is always a little bit of a bonus. So, but I hope what I said helps. I hope that it makes you feel a little lighter, a little better. Maybe it gives you a little different, little better perspective on your life and on the world, what's going on. Um, and again, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share my videos. If you enjoy this, tell your friends, invite your friends to watch live every Monday night. Um, that helps me out, helps spread my voice a little bit further, and the more the merrier, the more people that I can share. Like I said earlier, it's like my first vision quest, what White Buffalo Cattleman told me was my path is to be shared. And so the further afield I can share my path, the better. So share my if you wish to contribute to my well-being, my PayPal and Venmo are in the descriptions. Thank you so much. And check my website if you would like to work with me personally on readings or healings or teachings. Oh my website at perchingwolfstudios.net, and we can work one-on-one, whatever you need. And I hope you will join me again next week. All right, so let's release this sacred space that we said at the beginning. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, passionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Oh, all right, my friend. Oh, thank you, Anna. That is our evening. That is our video, our reading. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you'll join me next week. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. All right. Bye now.